Hello and welcome to my parents' dining table. My name is Kjersti and you're watching the Unwritten Life, and me and my parents are all still alive. Alright, we're all still alive. They're currently not in the house, and they're not going to be in the house for a couple of days, so fingers crossed I can finish what I just started before they get back. Who knows? Do you think I can do it? They're gonna be gone for about 3 days. And this puzzle, which I don't think I have showed on this channel before, I don't know exactly how to pronounce what the title is. Oceania is my pronunciation of it. It's a puzzle from Ravensburger. And I have done all the sorting because I only have 3 days. And this puzzle is 3,000 pieces. And it's going to be interesting to see whether I can do this big puzzle in such a short amount of time. I mean, there are other things I would like to get done too. And I do have parts of my study. I'm currently studying organic farming part-time, though it definitely feels more like full-time study, but I have certain things that I need to do there also within the next 3 days, or actually it's 3.5, but you know, yeah, I'm still living with my parents. I'm grateful that that is a possibility. I'm not happy about still living here. I mean, we're in mid-April now, so I've been here for, this is the 8th month. 8 months! 8! It's insane. I'm going insane. I've worked a lot on my studies lately, obviously. In just a month, I have my exam, or a little bit more than a month, but it feels like a month. So that's going to be a challenge too. I'm not crazy about exams because they stress me out, and I don't do well under such kind of pressure. So that's a thing. I can't even remember. It's been a while since I last talked to you now. Sorry about that, but you know, that's what happens when you're not in control of the house you're currently living in. As in, welcome to my life. Why don't you work? Okay. But yeah, where was I going with that? Yeah, I have done some schoolwork. And I have turned in a paper. I have not gotten a reply yet, which is weird because the first 2 papers I wrote, I was told whether I did okay or not within the first week. Current paper, I turned in, current paper I turned in more than 2 weeks ago now, so I should definitely have been, where do you go? I don't get it. I should definitely have, in my opinion, at least, I mean, I don't know how much that counts for anything, but in my opinion, I should have been told whether I did good or not on that paper. I don't know, because they haven't told me. I'm getting a little nervous, partly because I know that the paper I wrote, I didn't write a good paper, unfortunately, but I knew that. I knew I didn't do well, but I still need to know if I did so badly that I have to redo it, and I can't do that until I actually know. So that's currently a bit of a challenge, I will admit. And yeah, that's kind of the most I have to do about school right now, because that's where it's at. So apart from that though, I do still enjoy school. I do still like it. And I'm starting to wonder, maybe I didn't do as good of a sorting as I thought I did. That's always a big question, I feel, when I do a puzzle. Did I sort well enough? I don't know. I'll figure it out. Because that's what you do when you puzzle. You figure it out. Eventually. At some point. Usually. I have been to look at houses, and obviously the reason I'm not looking at you is because I'm doing my puzzle while I'm talking to you. That's how this works. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. Because I assume if you're not new that you are coming back. Those are kind of the only two options, I think, when it comes to that. I have done this puzzle before. As I said, not on this channel, but I have done it. Like, I don't think I've actually done this puzzle since I started this channel. Because I'm pretty sure that if I had, I would have filmed it. And since I haven't filmed it, I probably haven't done it since before I started this channel, which, oh my god, I've had this channel for 2.5 years now. That's crazy. Exciting, fun, but crazy. So yeah, it's been a while since I last did this puzzle, so I'm very uncertain if I will be able to kind of reach my time limit. Because as I said, I only have 3.5 days. That's gonna be interesting to see if I can get it done on time. Because my parents are off on a little bit of a vacation for a couple of days, and well, I'm not telling Mom that I'm doing this while they're away. She probably thinks I'm doing school all the time. And I have been doing a lot of school, but you know, sometimes I need a break, okay? And puzzles, in my opinion, is a great break. So here I am doing my puzzle, and I'm loving it, and I'm already struggling. That is normal, for me anyway. I don't know how you usually do your puzzles, whether you struggle a lot or not, but I tend to go into my puzzles really optimistic, and then also really quickly kind of, I don't know, smack myself in the face with, no, it's not as easy as I managed to convince myself that it would be. So, that's the puzzle part, I guess you could say. But, yeah, I have been looking at houses because I desperately need to move. I mean, I even have a deadline now. And my deadline is the end of May. Because that's when my studies are done. Because my exam is May 29th, I think, if I remember correctly. So when I get to that point, I really should know where I'm going. And I mean, today is April 22nd. And currently I have no clue where I'm going. And finding a place that I can afford, because all prices are going up. If you have done anything at all whatsoever in regards to money over the past, I don't know, couple of years, you know that all prices have been like going up and up and up and up. That includes buying a house. That includes renting a place. So all things money-wise, yeah. And I also have the challenge of not having a job. And yeah, I know people can keep telling me to get a job. And I know that I have to. But I've also realized that I do need to focus on school if I should be able to, or to be able to complete it. Because it's a lot of information that I'm learning at school that I don't know. And I'm not the fastest learner, so it's taking me a while, which I don't mind that the learning takes a while. I'm totally okay with that. However, currently I do kind of have several deadlines, you know? The exams, I need to be ready for those. And then moving, that's another. So there are a lot of different things about, well, getting out of the house and doing all the things. And I'm not a fast learner, but I do want to do well on my exams, so I have to prepare for that. And there are all these parts to the puzzle. And I don't mean this puzzle, even though it has a lot of parts, because 3,000 pieces. Can I do it in the time I've given myself? And yeah, I don't know. But I'm gonna try. That's the name of the game right now. I'm gonna try, and I'm gonna do my best, and fingers crossed I can actually finish the puzzle in the time limit I have given myself. So, really hoping I can do that. So, do you need to know more about school right now? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. We'll figure it out. Oh, you go that way. Okay. What else? Yeah, I've been looking at houses. More specifically, I've went to physically look at 2 houses. One was just an absolute no. Not because the house was so bad. That was actually not the issue. The issue with the first one, and I don't know whether you find me silly or not. I find myself a little silly about it, actually. But the first one was an absolute no for a very simple reason. If I live somewhere, I have to be able to go grocery shopping, because even though I intend to grow a lot of my own food, I still have to, buy tea, for instance, and milk, because even though I would like to have a cow at some point, that's not going to be anytime soon. So I'm going to need to have access to a road so I can get places. And when you have access to a road to get places, I don't know about you, but I like to feel somewhat safe driving on it. And the road that led to one of the houses I went to look at, and yeah, sure, it was snow, but I mean, in that place it would be snow 6 months out of the year, basically half the year. So not being comfortable driving on a road that I would be spending like half the year driving on, basically, that would not be acceptable. So even though the house wasn't too bad, obviously needed a lot of work. All the houses I'm looking at needs a lot of work, because it's the name of the game when you don't have that much money to spend on a house. Everything else gets expensive, because you can't buy a newly finished house or a house that's like pretty already, because you're gonna have to spend a lot of money fixing the house if you can't buy a house that's already fixed. So do you want to pay now or later, basically? And I have to choose later because I don't have the money now. So that's his own little challenge. But yeah, that is definitely a challenge. But it's also like just, yeah, the road, it was uncomfortable to drive on. And just because I'm occasionally not always lucky when it comes to things that has to do with my car, and I hate for this when it happens, or I hate when this happens, but I got a little unlucky. I don't know what happened, and there's no good reason for it. It just, according to the people that will be fixing my car, things like this, just if it's an older car, it just happens. Bad luck. So yeah, I had some bad luck getting to that house, because all of a sudden, while I was driving, thinking it was fine, a sound starts to happen. And I don't know about you, but when I drive, I like for my car, I have an older car, so it does make sounds. But I know those sounds. It's a loud car because it's old and it's not kind of like, yeah, you can hear a lot of what's going on there. But the new sound, yeah, it was not a fun sound. Let me tell you, I'm not nervous when I drive. I like driving. I don't mind driving. But when that sound came, I was like, oh my God, will I get back to my parents? For a while there, I was honestly not sure. Because the sound that came was not a pretty one. It sounded like I fairly easily could locate that it was happening on my front right wheel, but I didn't know what it was. I don't know enough about cars to know such things. But I quickly realized that that sound, very not good sound, first of all, but then, you know, it sounded like something was loose, like something was about to fall off. And when you have to drive for 3 hours, and I was alone in the car, and have to drive for 3 hours to get back to my parents, and I could tell something was wrong, something was loose, and it had to do with my right front wheel. I think it's safe to say it's totally fine to freak out a little then. I mean, come on. Things are not supposed to be loose. That was, oh my God. I think that's the most nervous I've been driving probably ever. Because I knew I had to drive so far. And something was loose. It was just, yeah. And I usually like driving. So this felt like a bit of a nightmare. I didn't like it at all. Not one bit. But, I mean, I had to get back to my parents, and it's not like they could have done anything. I was on the road. So, yeah, that was a very, very nerve-wracking drive back to my parents' place. It was not fun. It was not fun at all. So, but I obviously got back. I'm okay. My car, slightly less okay. My car is going in to get fixed on Friday. So, I guess you could say that was the story of how my first drive to look for a house this season was. Nerve-wracking. Drive back from a place that I quickly realized wasn't gonna happen because the road was... It would not have been fun to drive on that road. I mean, the road itself was not fun, so it felt like a bit of a mess, to be honest. And I was just like, nope, nope, this is not happening. I'm not doing this. I will not live there, simply because of how the road was, because it made me uncomfortable to drive on. And I don't think that's very good. So, sun is going in and out of here, so the lighting might change. May change? Either way, there are changes in the lighting. So, yeah, that was probably the end of the video, because you might be cutting me off soon. There will be coming more videos. As I said, I have 3.5 days in the house alone. I'm gonna do this puzzle. I won't get to show it off the way I would like to, because time constraint. But at some point, I'm gonna make kind of like, you know, the video I make when I just show the puzzle and don't talk. You might ask, is that even possible for me? And I'm gonna go with yes, it is. It don't necessarily happen often or a lot, but it is possible. So, I will now finish this video and I will see you in another one. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're enjoying this chit chat while I puzzle. I know I am. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.